How to enter and exit a roundabout. Welcome to episode 37 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. Now, modern roundabouts were first standardized in the UK in 1966 and were found to be a significant improvement over previous traffic circles and rotaries. Now, since then, modern roundabouts have become commonplace throughout the world. Unfortunately, knowing how to correctly maneuver through the roundabout isn't so common. I'm Jane Ubel, and with me today is veteran crash investigator and driver safety expert Mike Pehl. Hello there.
Hey, folks.
All right. And as well, we have our keeper of our enrichments and creator of our social media posts, Natasha Johnson. Now, Natasha, we're going to start off today's podcast by listening to one or two, I think, of your students' observations about their experience in a roundabout.
Yeah, today I'm going to share Solveig from Bemidji and Sky from Lakeville's responses. Solveig says, what surprised me during this activity was that when we were going around a roundabout, a car waiting to enter the roundabout didn't yield for us when they were supposed to. Now on to Sky's observation. I was in the car with my friends and their mom was driving. We were going through a 2-lane roundabout. We were in the right lane with the intention of going through, since in that lane we could go straight or take a right. Someone was in a different right lane waiting to enter the roundabout. We had already entered and we were crossing the lane he was about to enter, and he was starting to go when he shouldn't have, and thankfully, he slammed on his brakes and did not hit us because he didn't have the right of way. He could have ran into our vehicle and would have been responsible. The 2-lane roundabout is tricky because people don't know both lanes can go straight or don't read the signs to know what direction they can go in each lane and have seen multiple accidents in that same spot.
Yes. Okay, well, yeah, guess what, guys? Sorry to say, it ain't ever going to get fixed. It's just not going to do it. But we can be, what's our slogan at Drive Safe, Ride Safe? We can make smarter, safer, better drivers. But
That's
guess
right.
what? We gotta take a step out of the box and see the situation before we get to it. So remember this, when you come up to a roundabout, okay, guess what we have? It's called a diamond sign. What are they called? Warning signs. You are about to enter a roundabout. The sign should tell you if it's a 2-lane, 1-lane, okay? As you get closer, if it doesn't say it on that roundabout ahead sign, as you get ready to enter it, it's going to show you. Now, you should know what exit you're going to take before you enter that. So if I'm going to take the first exit to the first right, I don't want to be in that inside lane if it's a double, because that makes no sense. And if it's going to be even my second or third exit, why do I even want to enter that inside lane? Why? That inside lane has to leave to get out of that, correct? What you want to, the roundabout speed limit is 10 to 15 miles an hour. I have never seen a roundabout that goes 20, 25 miles an hour. So let's say it's a 15-mile-an-hour roundabout. And of course, the people that are entering, let's say they're going 20. Let's get back to our basics when we learned it, I believe, in lesson number 1 in our driver's ed.
Basic.
Front tires never lie. And if you are in that roundabout and somebody is yielding, waiting to come in, you need to look at that front tire. If that front tire starts to roll, you know what? They're maybe going to go in front of you. You need to get ready. If you are tailgating the person in the roundabout in front of you, you're doing it wrong. You should leave that gap, because as people come around and you see that, you can go 0 to 10 quite fast, guys. It's just a merge. That's all it is. It's yield. The roundabout, when you enter, doesn't have a stop sign. It's a yield sign. All right. So you need to look at that gap. You don't wait till the gap gets to you and then you try and come out into it. You need to time the gap as it's coming to you. Before, when this car gets by, you need to start those front wheels rolling. get inside your roundabout, and then exit where you're gonna do. I'm just telling you this, that inside lane of a roundabout is disaster. It's just disaster waiting to happen. Second thing is, because you're gonna be in and out of there in less than 3 turns anyway.
That's
Why do you want to
exactly
get in
right.
there?
Yeah.
Why do you
I'm
want to
going,
get some, yeah, why do you want to get someplace where you can't to go 2 more miles an hour? Makes no sense. But second thing is, when we're in that roundabout, we don't want to be side by side with that inside car who might decide that's my exit. Just like our second viewer or first
Yeah.
viewer said, you know, the guy slammed his brakes on, and thankfully we
Right.
didn't have an accident, but it could have been an
Mhm.
accident. So, you know, guys, we're not in there to hit brakes and that. By letting up on your gas pedal a little bit, remember, we always want our front bumper at the person in front of us back bumper. That way, if they have to make a quick move, we are not in the way of hitting them. Okay, so you know, when it's busy, it's something, but that's kind of your rule of thumb. We never hide in the blind spot, front tire to back tire. That's a no-no right off the bat, anytime, all the time. All right, just rules that we need to have in our mind for our life, not just to learn how to drive, you know. And then if you're up here like this, then that driver sees you and they're not going to turn into you. So, you know,
Well,
so
Mike, another thing is, I think you have taught our students before as well, is if you are in the inside lane and you can't get out, just circle around again. Don't
Yeah.
try to push in over, you
Yeah.
know, and squeak in because you have to go out that way. That circle's not that, it'll take you 12 seconds to get back around
Yeah.
and get the
Exactly.
right one.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So good point. You know, don't be in a hurry. Hurry gets everybody in trouble. All right. And to save 12 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, the accident's going to cost you 4 hours.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Maybe, I mean, 4 hours or more. All right. And then even if you get pinned at 50% at fault, 35% at fault, still going to be an accident on your record.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Well, and it's
remember
not,
that chargeable accident doesn't go by, it goes by how much money did your insurance pay out on your behalf to make it a chargeable. So even you could have a non-fault accident and have the person beside you that caused it all have no insurance. You're going to get a chargeable accident on that because your insurance is going to have to pay out. We can't get in there, but that's the way it is.
well, I'm totally going to remember, never go in the inside lane.
Yeah.
It makes
I don't
no
think I
sense.
ever have, but now that you explained it, it's just funny.
Yeah, I mean,
It is.
well, let's
Yeah.
get someplace where we can go nowhere.
Yes, exactly. I have some funny stories about that, but for another time.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but I think the reason I think people jump in that left lane is because they don't want to deal with the mergers coming in on the outside.
Mhm.
Oh, sure.
You know, and they think it's, well, I'm going to go around 3, so this way it makes it easier. No, it's tighter. Stay out of it. Just leave it alone.
Great. Good advice. Well, again, thanks for joining us. We truly appreciate you and hope you can share our podcasts with your friends and family. Please check out our other episodes by going to drivesaferidesafe.com/podcast, or you can go to our youtube.com/drivesaferidesafe. 1 the number, not the name. That's our channel that houses our podcasts in video versions, as well as more than 100 short reels with driving tips on almost any driving topic. Also, please give us a shout out, emailing us with your questions about driving or maybe your stories, because we'd love to use them to help other people become smarter, safer drivers. You could email it at drivesaferidesafe@gmail.com. And again, this has been episode 37 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. I'm Jane Ubel, and we want to remind you to
Drive safe.
Ride safe.
.com. See you next
Have
time.
a good day.